Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that little subscription button, and if you like the video, don't forget to hit that little like button. But if you've already subscribed, I definitely appreciate the support, and if you're not in that phone flipping Facebook group, just hit that first link down below. It's free to join, just basically giving you guys free tips every single day. Stuff I don't really talk about YouTube, but things you still should keep in mind, and it's a great way to extend your knowledge of the phone flipping industry. But in today's video, I'm actually going to be talking about what I bring to the actual meetups when looking to buy an iPhone that I can go ahead and flip. So with that said, let's get into today's video. So one thing that I always bring to my meetups, and you guys should too, is your actual cell phone. And with that said, I do usually meet at like a carrier store, like a McDonald's or Starbucks, somewhere with Wi-Fi, because sometimes my LTE doesn't work. So it's always safe to have that internet so you can check the IMEI, just making sure it's clean. Even though you might have checked it, and you guys should be checking it before you actually meet up, having them send you that IMEI, so you don't waste your time. Just checking it again, making sure everything is still correct in the system, because sometimes you'll check the IMEI and a couple hours later you're actually meeting with someone. So things can change in that time. I've seen it happen. So just another way so you guys don't get scammed. So always bring your cell phone so you can check that IMEI through like carrier websites and through Swappa and IMEI Pro. The second thing that I always bring is obviously cash, and if you're not in that phone flipping Facebook group, this is actually a tip I released earlier today, so definitely join that if you're not in it. But the second thing I always do is bring cash. With that said, I always like to bring about $200 to $300 extra, because a lot of the times I've missed out on some potential deals where people have brought more than one cell phone that they're looking to sell, or even if it's a different item. One time a guy actually brought an extra Apple Watch that he was wearing, and he said, I might as well sell this too if you'd be interested, and I actually ended up pulling the deal together, negotiating a little bit on the price, and that was an extra $100 profit I made. So it was about $250 I made in that single day, when I initially thought it was only $100 because I had that extra cash on me. And in the beginning, I didn't necessarily do this. I just usually brought the exact cash amount. And yes, I missed out on some deals, but obviously I ended up meeting with them again if the possibility was there. But one thing I always recommend you guys is bring some extra cash, because you never know what you're getting into. A lot of people just want some easy cash, and if you show them you have more than the actual of what the phone you were originally going to buy, sometimes they'll sell you something, an electronic they have. You never really know, and it's a great way. I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody to have the extra cash on you, because either you're going to spend it on something extra that they're trying to sell you, or you're just going to have it for the next meetup. And therefore, having extra cash means you can buy some extra phones. So the third thing you guys should always bring is a paperclip, or something small enough to put in the little SIM card tray, because if you guys don't know, we always need to make sure that the phone is like clean, in terms of having no iCloud on it, making sure the activation lock is off, checking the camera. So we obviously have to get to the home page, and if it's reset, we need to put in that SIM card, and we also need to take out that SIM card tray so we can put in the carrier SIM card of the phone to be able to make sure that it's actually that carrier, because a lot of times people will say it's like AT&T when it's actually Sprint, because they know it's valued a lot less with that carrier. So just make sure you have that paperclip, because most of the time the actual seller of the phone won't have it, and you're kind of stuck, and therefore you kind of have to make a random decision to buy the phone, even if you're able to trust the buyer and if you're able to trust the seller. So always just bring that paperclip or whatever, something that can fit in that little SIM card tray. And that leads me to my fourth point, and something you guys should definitely bring, and something I've talked about a lot in my videos, is the actual SIM cards themselves. And over time, you're going to build up different carrier SIM cards. Like for me now, I pretty much have at least one or two SIM cards of pretty much any carrier you can think of. And you're really going to only get these from people leaving them the phone. I typically don't really ask if they can leave the SIM card, because it just looks sketchy on our part. It's just simply if they leave it, and having those SIM cards will allow you to go through the initial steps if it's reset, to check if the iCloud is on it, and also to make sure that it's actually the appropriate carrier that the seller had told you it was, because if it's not, it'll say SIM not supported, and therefore you're buying a different carrier phone that you didn't expect. And the last thing, and if you watch any of my videos, you probably could guess this, and that's the bill of sale. You should always bring a bill of sale. I always have about 10 to 15 copies in my car. And if you're ending up buying two different items, you have to get two bill of sales. Just a little tip you guys should take into consideration. I typically, if I buy more than one thing, I'll make a bill of sale for each. It's just a precaution. I don't want to have any legality things like kind of work up on me later on, because I put them on the same document. I don't know if it'll affect, but it's just kind of like a OCD kind of thing. I always have different bill of sales for every single item, and it's just a better way to track them later on the back end. When you're trying to like do taxes and stuff like that and figure out what your like monthly sales and profit was. So again, always bring that bill of sale, make them sign it. It's just a very important thing, and that's probably the most important thing you need to bring, solely because that's the best way you guys can protect yourself from getting scammed. So with that said, this was a short video again, but it's something very valuable to you guys, I think, if you're not doing this currently. And if you are, great, good for you, because you're saving yourself a lot of time and a lot of money and protecting yourself legally. So with that said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Again, hit that little subscription button, just that little red button down below. I really appreciate the support, trying to grow the channel, and it really just gives me motivation to release these kind of videos to you guys. And if you have any questions or comments, also leave a comment down below. I'm willing to answer them at any time. And if you're not in that phone flipping Facebook group, again, sorry for so many plugs, guys, but I'm just trying to grow this channel. Hit that first link down below. It's free to join. Just have to answer 3 quick questions. And with that said, have a great Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video.